and welcome to PQA TV. I'm Louise.
And I'm Saffron.
And today we're here at London's West End to watch School of Rock.
We're really excited because we're going to be interviewing 2 of the cast members and 1 director to find out what it's like behind the scenes of this amazing show.
We'll also be finding out what it's like to be a West End performer.
So come along and join our amazing experience. Hope you enjoy.
Hey, how you doing? Come on, Liz, how you doing?
Hi Jake, thank you so much for letting us join you. So can you tell us just a little bit about how you got here?
So, because of the part, the audition process was big. So I think I had to do 3 songs from the show, 3 scenes, and then bring my guitar in and play my guitar. It was big. I remember I was in the room for a good 45 minutes, I'd say, for one of them, which is a lot of pressure and a lot of stress, but great fun because the material's great. And also you're trying to do it pretending to act with loads of kids and it's actually just 2 adults stood in front of you.
Okay, so have you always wanted to be an actor, or is there sort of like other things that maybe you've been interested in before?
Well, I actually trained to be a teacher, which is quite strange that I now do this on stage, pretending to be. Yeah. And I used to be in a band. It was like I'm like this huge method actor that I was doing it from like the age of 6. I always really enjoyed acting and the idea of it, but I didn't really start it until I was about 24. And from now on, I can't see myself doing anything else. But before that, I did a few jobs, worked for the police. I was a teacher. I used to pack bags at Morrison's. Yeah, I've done a few.
Do you find that the show changes with the different casts you have? Because obviously there's so many kids that they don't do every single night. Do you find that it changes with each new cast?
Yeah, it changes massively. Always in a good way, but it does change because there's a whole different dynamic. Each group kind of starts to form its own kind of personality. And it means that the show always gets where it needs to go, but in a different way. I actually think that it's fantastic. I'm kind of nervous about doing another show where it's just the same cast always, because of the fact that each time you do it, you haven't, maybe it'll be a group of kids that you haven't done it with for a week. And so you have that slight nerves again, you have to remember how you play off each other, and the same for them, because there's 2 Deweys. So I find that it actually really helps the show, helps you as a performer, and helps the story to be told, because you have to keep remembering to listen.
So what was your favourite stage, would you say, of sort of like the rehearsal process? Because
I joined the company while the show was already up and running, you don't get to initially rehearse on the stage, so you rehearse in a separate room, obviously because the show's still going on. So you do a lot of the rehearsals in there, and that was all really good fun, but as soon as you first get onto the stage with the lights and the sound, so the first time that we did all of that was amazing, because then you just get all the things that you've been doing in this little room kind of amplified, and you see how it's going to work, and there's a revolve on the stage. So I would say it was that initial kind of first slight run of some of the big songs was the best moment. Yeah, I still get tingles thinking about it.
Do you have any advice for young people going into this industry for like auditions or nerves?
Someone told me years ago that the adrenaline and like nerves and excitement are just basically the exact same feeling. So I always try to look at it a little bit like that. When you're really excited and you get the tingles, it's kind of the same feeling as when you're really nervous about something. So just to try and twist it and be like, this is going to be really good. Try and find a way of going into the room and know that when you walk out of it in 20 minutes time, the world's still carrying on exactly the same as it was before. And then I think the most important thing is just to be nice. Just be a nice person. Don't fall down the trap of being catty and bitter about things, and just find your way in, and then just be a good person about it. And I think that it does pay off. So
thank you so much, Jake, for letting us obviously interview in that, and looking forward to see the show.
Yeah, so excited.
Really good.
No, not at all. I really enjoyed it. Thanks so much. Love to meet you guys.
Hiya.
Hello, how are you doing?
So what would you say is the best part about your job?
Ooh, the best part is getting to work in a theatre every single day. That makes me extremely lucky, and working on a show that I have so much faith in.
So we know what the process is like for being an actor. You do an audition and you get the role, but what's the process like for being a director?
It can come in many different ways, actually. So some people kind of climb up through a show. They could start in the show as an ensemble or a character, then they can start taking on a little bit more responsibility. They could be a dance captain, assistant dance captain, and they can work their way up from being within a show. Or I got this gig through the guy who did the job before me. He knew me, he was leaving, so it was kind of a little bit who you know.
Some people are torn between performing arts and drama. Would you suggest going down the more performing arts route, performing arts college, or a drama school?
That's a really good question. It depends on the individual, but what I would say is you come from a different standpoint if you have a better understanding of what it is to be an actor. However, there are loads of incredible directors who have never acted. They just have a vision and they know what they want, and then after that it's kind of a dialogue between the actor and the director to kind of bring that to life. It's the same with any job. The more experience and knowledge you have around it, the easier you're going to find it.
Cool, thank you so much for responding with such insight.
Oh, you are very welcome. Enjoy the show.
Thank you. Thanks for the tickets. So, hi Emily, and thanks for letting us join you. I'm just going to ask you a few questions to find out what it's like behind the scenes in the School of Rock. So, when would you say your passion for performing began, and who was your biggest influence?
Well, when I was 3, I started ballet, and then when I was around 6, 7, my friend was in this other performing school, so I joined that, and I've just loved singing, dancing and acting ever since.
And what would you say would be a typical day in the theatre at School at Rock?
So basically, when I wake up, I go to school, and then afterwards I come here, and we have a 6 o'clock warm-up on a evening show, and we do a warm-up, and then we go in, we get our mics on, and we get ready for the show, and then it opens the show.
Cool. So how much would you say that you and your character have in common?
Quite a lot in common, because Summer's really bossy and direct, and I think I'm quite bossy.
So what would you say was your dream role?
Probably Elphaba in Wicked, or someone in Les Mis, because they're both really good musicals.
What top tips would you give to young people going into performing arts industry?
Well, I think they should just go for it, because the judges there, they really just want a character, a person to play the character. They want you to do well, so just go for it.
Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. That was great. Thank you.
So now we're going to go and see the show.
See you later.
That was amazing.
That was really good, the whole,
What was your favourite part?
I like the end when it was just big lights and everyone was partying, it was really good. What about you?
I loved Dewey, he was so funny.
Yeah.
And all of the kids, just the energy was amazing.
It's really good.
Well, the show was great. Well, this is us signing off. I'm Louise.
I'm Saffron.
And we've been on PQA TV here at London's West End School of Rock.
Bye.
See you next time.